What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And while, as y'all know, the Motorfest beta did end last weekend, giving us basically 2 days to jump in and really get like an overall glimpse of how this game will be in September. I honestly had a great time. I would also say most of the people who played it most likely had a very positive review. At least they actually did enjoy the game overall, and they most likely cannot wait for this game to actually release in September. And while playing, guys, there is a lot of new features and or just a lot of like quality of life improvements that I will be going over in the coming weeks in different videos, so definitely stay tuned. And starting off in this video is one of the first features I did want to show, which I would say a lot of players definitely wanted this in the Crew 2. So obviously, if you guys were racing in the Crew 2, let's say you actually wanted to change your part, and or maybe you wanted to change like your settings on your vehicle. So obviously to do so, you would have to basically abort the race. Your only other option is to actually retry it, which is obviously not going to help. But if you did actually abort the race though, you most likely may spawn in like a random place, and you're probably not going to be by the recent event that you actually just did. Then you would have to go into the menu and then obviously have to change your parts around. And then you would have to go down to your vehicle settings and obviously tweak that a bit if you had to. And then you would actually have to go back into the map and then spawn back over to the event. And I'm sure you're probably seeing where this is actually going with all these unnecessary steps. Now the difference in Motorfest, instead of like being on the Crew 2 where you can only basically retry and or abort, Motorfest is now going to have a new feature called Reconfigure, and if you guys actually press this, it will bring you back to the main menu of that event, and you can then jump in right into your vehicle and change some parts around. You can obviously pick like a different car, which compared to the Crew 2, you would have to like abort and then go into the menu and then spawn back to the event. Luckily in Motorfest now, you can actually basically reconfigure it, go back into your vehicle immediately and change some things around, maybe change the difficulty, and or actually change some settings around, which I actually found this to be insanely useful, especially if you might be adjusting your settings on a car. For example, guys, let's say you jumped into a race and you're like, you know what? I'm not really feeling this car right now. Maybe I do need to adjust this a bit. If you were on the Crew 2, you would have to abort the event, then go into your menu and actually adjust the car that way. But on Motorfest, though, you head into the menu, hit Reconfigure, you then go right back to the vehicle settings and you can actually change it right there. So it really is going to take the steps down, at least from the Crew 2, and that way it's actually not going to be as many steps to do something, which I would say is very useful. And one of my favorite things as well, guys, this can actually go for the ones who like to grind, which I would say in like a racing game is most likely anybody who wants to buy the cars. But in this though, guys, if you are trying to make a lot of money, you don't actually have to go through all those steps either. If you are trying to like maybe do like an event, and let's say you want to go right back into that race, at the end of the event, you can also hit reconfigure. It will then take you right back to the main menu in that said race, and then you can actually start it right away again, like changing your difficulty and or like the time of day, and then you could jump right back in and start racing. So I really do think this is actually like a groundbreaking feature, and I really was hoping this was actually going to be in the Crew 2, but then again, guys, looking at the Crew 1 to the Crew 2, and then finally to the Crew Motorfest, I can safely say from playing all three games, all three have obviously improved heavily from one another, so that's always going to be a great thing to see, guys. But now when you actually want to do an event, and you do want to change something around in your vehicle, you don't have to go through all those steps. You can actually basically hit configure, change some stuff around, and then jump right back into that said event again. So this is definitely an awesome feature. Let's say you guys actually want to make a lot of money. You actually don't have to go through all of that. Instead, you can hit reconfigure, like add some of your new parts to your vehicle, which by the way, guys, is also going to be a huge improvement compared to the Crew 2. So after doing a race, you can then hit configure, go back into the menu. You can actually go into your car, add those parts to the vehicle, and then jump right back into the race instead of, actually finishing the event, and then picking up your parts, then adding the parts to it, and then going back into the map to go back to that race like you did in the Crew 2. So you will most likely notice this very early on, especially when grinding out the cars, because obviously every vehicle is base level, and that way you will also have to go after a lot of money again to buy the new vehicles. So saving all that time in between stuff, guys, really is going to be insanely helpful. and this is one of many new features and or quality of life improvements I absolutely loved in the Crew Motorfest, which by the way guys, do stay tuned for more. I will be posting more videos in the coming days and or the coming weeks, basically leading all the way up to Motorfest, which I would say a lot of these improvements really are going to make this game that much better. Again guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more insight.